Hi guys, and welcome to the channel, Tom and Harry SMMA. I am back. I've not been on screen for a while. Harry has been busting out videos, of course, but we've had a little break, but we're back with a whole load of videos for you over the next coming weeks. Today's video is an interesting topic. It's a question that we get asked a lot, as we always do. But today's video is about how to keep clients and how to keep clients for 12 to 18 months within SMMA. So without wasting any more time, let's get into the video.
Yeah, mate, super interesting topic. And I think this is something we can talk so strongly about because our agency's average client retention is between 10 and 18 months. And that's very unheard of. If you're in the agency space or you've had a client yourself, you'll know that that's extremely difficult to do. And there's certain things that you and I do very well that not many other agencies can do. And I think there's some very clear reasons of why that is. But I mean, do you want to kick it off, or shall I kick it off?
You kick it off.
Yeah, well, I think that the main, before we go into what we do, I think it's important to state that in the grand scheme of things, when you look at every agency website, everyone's offering, to a point, the same service. Once you understand Facebook ads and once you understand sales funnel creation, yeah, there's some variance in the kind of quality of your work, but within reason, once you understand how to get a client results, bring in leads, bring in sales from an e-commerce brand, it gets to a point where the variance isn't that much. For example, Gary V. Do you think Gary V's ads, if he was running them for a local dental practice, are going to be that different to you and I, but he can charge 100x what the average social media marketing agency can charge because he's Gary V, not because of his ads are like encrusted with diamonds or something. Do you know what I mean? That it gets to a point where the service is the service. So what that tells you is to not only charge incredible prices, but keep clients for that long, it comes down to you as people. The biggest USP of any social media marketing agency is the owner or the employees or the brand. It's you, it's them as people. It's how well that business resonates with you as people. And that's something you and I do incredibly well. And it's not as simple as...
I was going to say, it comes to communicate. Like when Harry's saying is what as people, there's a lot to it, as in, what we're trying to say is you have to communicate exceptionally well. So we can break it down. So like communication with your clients is, if you can communicate really, really well with good performance, bad performance, ad changes that you're making, ideas that you have, check in with your client and build some rapport and say, hey, how's your weekend? Or how was your son's birthday? And things like that. You generate trust. And this is what Harry's talking about. Like this is your interpersonal skills are coming out as a real person, and you do have to be likable. No one works with people that they don't like. So I think it's, Harry's right there. It's as a person, it's what you're bringing to the table, but so much of it comes down to communication, mate, doesn't it? More than anything about keeping clients.
It does, because we've kept clients for, like I say, 18 months when we've not brought them a single sale. And that's not to say that we don't know how to market a product. It was just that particular business needed so much work with funnels, infrastructure, like they were an online course seller and they needed help with that. And it took that long to potentially get them results. And that kind of backs up the point of, you can keep, client retention, in my opinion, there's no real correlation to getting results. So just because you're getting client results doesn't mean you're going to keep them for a long period of time, and vice versa. Just because you're not getting them results doesn't mean you're going to lose them after month 1 or 3. It really isn't like that. And that's because of how you deal with that client, how you manage expectations. And I think what I want to talk about most is, because I think this can be explained better in stories rather than like strategic kind of strategies, if you see what I mean. So like over the past 2 years of 2 and a bit years now of us, your and mine agency, there's some of the stuff we've done to build that relationship with clients, especially on the America trips, mate. Like one of our clients who, we're not going to say that we were going to lose them, but when we went over there and saw him and his daughter was going through something incredibly traumatic, we went over there, bought them toys, spent the day with them, and that went a really long way with the client, didn't it? And he immediately said, guys, that this doesn't go unnoticed.
Yeah, it's showing effort. I think it's the same with anything. When someone feels that you're going you're putting that extra effort in with them, whether it's a friend or family member or whatever, then you're in a good place. You're in a much happier place. Doesn't mean, you know, I think the key thing is, like, say you're not getting results for a client, that's when people go, oh, I'm not going to use you anymore. And they go, you get given so much more time to rectify and correct any issues because they like you, trust you, and they've got to know you and they understand you as a person. Really, really important. Harry's example there, yeah, it's extreme, but that's the level we're now at. It doesn't mean that you won't get there, but we sometimes go and see our clients. We do take an interest in their family. We do take an interest in their lives. That cements roots. And that is the roots that you need with your clients for you to keep them long term.
Yeah.
The other thing that me and Harry do, and it's really important to say, is when a client comes to us with something that isn't necessarily what we do, we find a solution for them and get it done.
Yeah.
No one would do that in this industry. I think it's very, very disappointing how people stick to just one particular task and they ask for something and they go, no, I can't do that because I only run Facebook ads. And they go, okay, fine. They then go to an agency like me and Harry who go, yeah, we'll do it for you. Who's running your Facebook ads? Yeah, we're going to stop that. And we'll run your ads with that too. And we'll get it all in one place.
Yeah.
You've now lost a client and we've won a client because you weren't willing to do something that's really, really quite small. So like there has to be, the moral of that story is when someone, if you're running ads for a client, whether it's on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Snapchat, whatever platform, it doesn't matter. You're running ads and you're doing some email marketing. A client comes to you and says, hey, we've got an event at our Medi Spa or our dentist is, I don't know, whatever. And we kind of need a flyer. We want to hand out some flyers. Is there any chance you can like create something for us? If you're like, well, no, I don't do flyers. That's like, because your ego is so big because you think you're this hot shot Facebook ads buyer, right?
Or if you say that'll be an extra 500 quid or something like that.
Yeah, it's £500. Oh, okay, well, I can't do it. Again, they go to someone else who does it for less and then does the additional stuff that you already offer and probably does it better, and then you lost the client. So it's just a vicious circle. So yeah. I think you have to go. You really have to. The moral of the story is you have to go above and beyond as a person with them and really get to know them. They may be cold. Some of your clients might be fucking dickheads. Yeah. They're paying you. The more relationship and rapport you have with them, Harry, like the longer they're going to stay with you and more forgiving they can be if it doesn't go right.
And just not making it a transactional relationship. And I think that's the biggest problem with most agencies. It's so transactional. You get paid at the beginning of the month, you do this service, and then it's like, right, I've ticked that box. I'm on to the next one. And and to keep a client that long, you can't behave like that. And you've got to remember, if you can keep a client, if your average retention at the minute is 3 months with clients that you get, if you can get that to 6 months, 9 months, you're now shrinking the amount of outreach and the stress of signing new clients by 2 or 3 times, because keeping a client for 3 months is the same as signing a new client for 3 months. But not even that. It also goes a step further, because if you're keeping them for 6 months or 9 months or 12 months, then your chance of getting a referral, your chance of getting a testimonial also goes up by 200%. So that's how your agency grows. And that's something that you and I have focused on so heavily in these 2 years, because you see people that are on, like, you see agencies that have been around for 2 years and they're at 100K in revenue. They've got loads of employees. Their profit margin is not that high. And you look at their client retention and it's 3 months because they sign 3-month contracts. And it's like, how sustainable is that to your brand? Whereas you look at, Tom and I, where our revenue is not that high, our profits are a lot higher, and our brand is growing so strong. Like it's crazy to see. And that's the kind of trade-off that we've focused on is getting that service delivery. And when I say service delivery, I don't mean just Facebook ads. I class communication and client relationships as the service delivery as well. Yeah. And we've now got that down to a T, where we're now at the point where we can scale to those huge revenue figures each month. Because I feel like people are scaling before they've even got a product. They're scaling to 100K, 200K a month. Their client retention's at 3 months. That's not something that's worth scaling, in my opinion.
No, it's not. And the other thing that's really important to know is you have to, in 2023, running just Facebook ads for your client isn't enough. And I've said this so many times on your channel. It's not enough, because they will always want other additional things. And you've got to eliminate future competition. I cannot stress this. If they are using someone for their email marketing and for their text messaging service, or they're using someone to post organically on social media, for example, you need to stop them doing that. Like, you have to stop them doing it and bring it into you, whether you give it to someone else, build a team, maybe outsource it, whatever. But you do want them to put all their eggs in one basket with you, because then the consequences of them leaving you is a harder move. It's like moving house. You're then moving every bit of furniture, and it's going to take fucking forever. Yeah. But actually, if your furniture is in different houses and you go to move house, it's not a big deal. It's an easy fix. You can do it in an afternoon. So like, you have to really, really think about bringing more on board, building that relationship, okay, going above and beyond, and interlocking your business with them, and having the other key thing, and Harry kind of touched on it, is you do need to share the passion for their business and the stress of their business with them. So if they're having a bad week, say, right, okay, cool, like, talk to me, let's see what we can do, and let's put something in place.
I think that's one of the biggest things. The amount of times you and me sit there on a Thursday night at 6 p.m. or a Friday, I don't know, like a Friday afternoon, and we've not got a lot of work on. We'll just ring like 5 of our clients. We're not scheduled a Zoom call. We've not, we need a strategy meeting out. We've just rang them. We've just rang any of our clients. Don't just be like, how are things? Talk to me for 30 minutes. How's business? Like, and those conversations are exactly how we keep clients for long, because no other agency does that. Like I say, every agency acts and treats these clients like transactions. They would never just pick up the phone and be like, what's happening? Do you have 15 minutes just to chill?
No, that's because the industry leaders who people follow on YouTube will never mention that as a concept.
Yeah.
The concept that everyone is taught and brainwashed with is win a client, just run Facebook ads, on to the next. It will work. It will just work. You'll 5x, 10x, ROAS. I hate it. It's gross.
Yeah, because they're high churn agencies. Right, get client 3 months. Once they've signed that 3-month contract, who gives a shit? I don't care if they stay on for 3 months. I've got them for 3 months now. And that's why their brands are so shit. And that's why they can't keep clients that long, because we do the complete opposite.
Yep. I'd rather have way less clients for longer, paying us way more, than having a whole bunch that we're churning, because it's just not sustainable.
No, it's not sustainable in terms of like your day-to-day operations, because you've got to think about the amount of onboardings you've got to do, troubleshooting banned ad accounts when you're onboarding them, getting content over. We have to do 4 times less than most other agencies just by keeping clients longer, just by a few phone calls. And I want to take that phone call conversation a bit further, because not only do we just sit there and ring our clients randomly and just have a conversation with them, when a problem arises, we do no communication on email, do we? If a client messages us saying, Tom and Harry, like, what's happening with the ads? No leads have come through. We do not reply on email. We just call them straight away. Like, no conversation about anything negative will happen over text, over email, anything on paper. It has to be on the phone, because things get read the wrong way. Things, people say things they don't mean because it's read wrong. It's just messy. Like, we always immediately as well.
Mate, I think there is an understanding where people think you can't talk to your clients outside of a Slack group, right?
Mate, or a really corporate Zoom call. Yeah,
it has to be on Zoom or on Slack. We don't talk to them outside. They have your personal number. What the fuck? Are you mad? Yeah. No, I'm not mad. I'm clever as fuck, because they have my personal number or my business number, and they can call me whenever, and I will call them. Because if something, if we need to speak to them and we need to call them, they're on the phone, and that goes super far with them,
mate. And people probably thinking, well, you can't do that when you've got 200 clients.
Correct.
But I think you can do it. We don't have 200 clients. Not many agencies do have 200 clients, but we've got a fucking lot of clients, and mate, loads of Academy members have our personal phone number. And what you'll find is, if you treat them in the correct way, they don't take the piss. They're not going to be ringing you every single day like that. You can set boundaries. They have respect for you because you've got respect for them, and they don't take the piss, mate. We very rarely get random phone calls from our clients because they understand the process and how things work. So I think they're the key things, mate. And they're such like
the other thing we're
trivial things.
They are true, but the other thing we're overlooking here is actually some of these people, most of the people, they actually become friends of yours. Like, bizarre as that sounds, once you get to know people on a personal level, they do feel that they rely on you a bit, and like you become friends with each other. And like I would absolutely hand on heart say that the most of the clients we have are someone that if we ended up parting ways, I would still be like, oh, I know this person. I'd hit them up and ring them and say, hey, I'm in town. Like,
Yeah.
do you want to go for dinner, or do you want to like go for a coffee and stuff? Because we leave things on good terms. But then we have an amazing relationship with them throughout the journey of it also.
Yeah.
Anyway, client retention is a big one.
Yeah.
Never talked about.
Mate, I think it's so interesting that we're doing a video on client retention, and I'm sure a lot of people have clicked on this video hoping or expecting to see this hidden Facebook ad strategy that, you know, gets incredible results that keeps them for really long. But we've made clients 30 grand a month in profit and lost them.
Yeah.
And you might be thinking, why? And we've done videos on this in the past, and it's because things change. People see that amount of revenue coming in and potentially think, oh, we don't need it anymore. We can bring it in house, or, you know, new management gets involved, or there's so many different factors which can't be beaten with results on paper. Yeah. But what can beat that, if a new manager comes in, if you've got an incredible, you know, friendship with these business owners because you've gone to see them, or, you know, you pick up the phone and have a chat with them every Friday about their family or whatever, they're not going to get rid of you because they're not going to get rid of a friend.
People won't do it, mate. They won't do it like this because that's hard work. That's work. And people don't like getting on the phone with other people.
No.
What is wrong with people? Like, talking on the phone, talking to people is a skill. You're never going to get better at it unless you do it. And so many people don't want to talk on the phone. Like, it's terrifying. But I tell you what, if you're terrified of getting on the phone when you're a CEO of a company, you're going to be fucked.
Yeah.
So where's your development? Think long term on everything. Think outside the box. Come out your comfort zone. Throw yourself in the deep end on everything you do in life. And if calling a customer and just checking in with them is terrifying for you, then you're kind of in the wrong game. I would just work in a library. I really would.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think the final thing I want to say is, and we've mentioned it in this video, if you can go see your clients, 100% go see them. It changes the relationship completely.
Yeah, like we always teach, tap up your inner circle. When you start a digital agency, SMMA agency, whatever you want to call it, when you start a digital agency, you want to hit your inner circle first thing. Everyone you know, people you know, brothers and sisters, friends and families, like and they're probably going to be local. You want to be booking appointments to go and see these people and get there face to face. And it dramatically changes how you do business, and it enhances your chance of signing a client by like 20x.
Yeah. And even when you've got them, like we probably 50% of our clients from the East Coast of America, mate. And when we first started, when we were building our brand over there, we went to America all the time, and we spent, I don't know, 4 or 5K between us to go visit these clients. And that was a big expense at the time, 2 years ago, when we were like starting off. Not starting off, when the agencies were merging together. But that 5K we spent, we got back instantly. Literally instantly, because that one trip alone, we signed a client on there because we booked loads of meetings while we were there, and so we could go see them. We personally met 4 of our existing clients, maybe more. I think it was more. I think it was more like 6 or 7.
It was about 6, I think.
Yeah, and off the back of those meetings, they signed, you know, extensions to the contracts, and we built relationships with them. So it was like, you spend 5K and you think, fuck, 5K to, you know, spend a week traveling around seeing all your clients, and then you get back and they sign extensions on contracts, you sign new clients, and you get that back instantly in month 1. So it's like a no-brainer.
All this is all about client retention, and this is what the video is about. But you know, everything is about, you can hear the theme that we're saying. There's a really constant theme, and it's just going above and beyond is all I can really sum it up as. Going above and beyond for all your clients.
I think, and it's making you more of a real person. I think that's the problem. Like, most agencies are like this digital enigma that they speak through in a Slack channel, and they're like, I don't really like this. It's almost like talking to AI. They're not real people there. But then when you bring yourself to real life, it's like, shit, now I've actually got to fire if I want to get rid of them. Like, if I was going to fire an employee, like, that's a difficult job. But if I'm just firing a digital enigma that's on a Slack channel, it's like, easy. Right, I don't want to work with you anymore. Bye. Job done. No, they don't care. It's like, you've not put the effort in with me, so I'm not going to show you the respect of like trying to fight for it. So it's like, makes a difference, and you stand out like a sore thumb, because like you say, no one wants to do that. No one wants to pick up the phone on a Friday afternoon and have a 20-minute conversation about their family, but we do it every week with most of our clients.
The other one thing, we're going to sign this video off, but this is really important, those who kept with this video. The other really important thing is always leave. If a client does leave you, you'll never get 100% retention. It's just people, even Nike, don't get 100% retention. Some people buy Nike Air Maxes, some people buy Adidas, Reebok, Gucci, whatever. Like, you always lose clients, but then they come back. But this is the coming back bit. So like, whenever you do lose a client, you must end on good terms. Don't try and force them to stay in a contract and pay out the rest of the contract. Now, some people will be screaming at me here, going, no, you can't do that because you're a business and you've planned for it, blah, blah, blah. Right, fine. But we've seen the attitude and the industry where clients have been forced to either stay, they can't leave, they've left and they try to be sued. Dreadful for your brand, your reputation, everything. And we don't give a flying fuck. Yeah, we've lost $2,000 a month for the next 2 months, if that's the case. But we've actually had people who have left us and wanted to break the contract early, and we've gone, okay, fine. And then they've come back.
Yeah.
So it's like, you always have to leave on good terms. And that really does add to that retention piece, I'd say.
Yep, perfect. I've loved this video, mate. I think it's such an important factor that no one ever talks about, because very few people can keep clients for 3 months. Even your favorite guru on YouTube, who a Facebook ad expert, their retention's probably not that high. It really isn't. And especially when you look at the average beginner agency, or agencies earning less than 8K a month, they're not going to keep clients very long at all. And from our research, we know that's a fact. So if you can just get this aspect of your agency down to a T, having consistent revenue without having to have a full sales team is going to be so simple to do.
It's much easier. We've talked about how with just 6 clients, regular clients that keep you throughout the year, 6 clients, you can make almost 10K a month with just 6 clients. 6.
I know, it's mental, mate.
6. I can't fucking believe that. Like, just 6 clients, and all you got to do is fucking keep the fuckers.
I know. Like, if you don't have retention, keeping those 6 clients is going to be impossible, because you've got to find 6 new clients every 3 months. Whereas if you listen to the strategies Tom and I teach and that run your agency in the correct way, you don't have to do that. You can just sign 6 clients at the beginning of the year, and then every year, this is very black and white, because if you kept them for a year on average, then you're going to have to replace them once a year. Whereas these fuckers having to replace them every 2 months, which is fucking hard to do.
I know. There we go. That's our spin on it again.
Yeah. Well, hope you enjoyed
the real world.
Yeah. Well, hope you enjoyed that video, guys. Like Tom said, we're back posting after our short break, but we are back. So yeah, please make sure you subscribe, like the video, and yeah, we'll see you very shortly for the next video.